Panel number 3, how to scale globally. Here to present, to moderate and present their dear guests is Mauro Viskovic, NYC startup attorney.
And
the man
here he comes.
You do not want to mess with.
This tall man.
Mr. Mauro, welcome. The stage is yours.
Enjoy it.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Davorin and his whole team at the Croatian Business Angels Network, along with Mayor Bandic and the city of Zagreb, for organizing this outstanding conference. I'm pleased to present our next panel, How to Scale Globally, where our panel is going to discuss how businesses can transform from a startup venture to a successful global enterprise. My name is Mauro Viskovic. I'm a member of the board of the Croatian American Professionals, and I'm also an attorney based in New York City, and my practice involves providing legal services to startup businesses where my goal is to help make them into a scale-up business. Today we're joined by speakers, each of whom are successful entrepreneurs who are going to share stories of scaling their own businesses, including the challenges they faced, and the resources they found most helpful. We have with us Luka Abrus, the founder and CEO of Five. We have Avi Marcel Castan, the co-founder and CEO of SixSkill. And Damir Sabo, the founder and CEO of Photomath. Damir is going to be our first speaker. Damir is a serial entrepreneur based in Zagreb, Croatia. His company, Photomath, is one of the most popular educational apps in the world. He has a technical background with a degree in electrical engineering and computer technology from the Zagreb University. He was the founder and longtime CEO of Iskon, the first private internet service provider in Croatia, a VC-backed company that was sold to Croatian Telecom in 2006. Damir is also the co-founder of Microblink, a computer vision software company, the Croatian Business Angels Network, and the Zip startup incubator in Zagreb. Damir will be sharing his observations and insights with us on how he's been successful with scaling his ventures.
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. So I will tell you about Photomath, which is camera, calculator, and math assistant. So about me, I'm an engineer and I'm an experienced entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Iskon, an internet service provider here in Croatia, which was in 2006 acquired by Croatian Telecom, which is part of Deutsche Telekom Group. And here is what I do now. So Microblink is a company that is behind technology for text recognition, so real-time text recognition for mobile devices. So what do? We actually of course, technology always works. So this is our first product that we built. It is PhotoPay technology that lets you pay your utility bills very simply by scanning a payment slip. So we built this, and it is very successful. It's in 25 banks across Europe. But then I was checking my son's homework. And it was boring actually and difficult for me. So I thought maybe there is a way to do it using our technology. Up. So this is first mock-up of our solution. So I thought maybe we can do it like that. So using camera to solve mathematical problems and equations. So we built Photomath. Photomath is the app that you can scan a map problem and get an instant result. And step-by-step solution with explanations. And here is how it works. So when you have trouble solving your math problems. You point your phone toward equation formula, and it will solve it immediately. So show result, and you can get solving steps, so step-by-step solution. So we launched it 2 years ago at TechCrunch Disrupt Europe, and it is, then we got big media coverage all over the world. So this is when it all started. We thought it will be demonstration of our OCR, optical character recognition technology, and it actually became very, very popular. We were 2 times #1 app on the App Store. We had 40+ million downloads until now. We have 6.5 million monthly active users. So it is very popular, but you can imagine why. And this is a slide from our first presentation where we thought, this was not inspiration for us, but it is interesting. It's from Big Bang Theory, that when they had an idea for exactly the same application, but we actually built it. So this is, how it works. So it can read handwriting. This is now a new version that is a result of machine learning and optimizations on mobile devices. So it can read handwriting in real time. It's the only one in the world like that. Market is big, it's 900 million students, but there are parents, teachers, and tutors. And private global tutoring market is worth more than $100 billion every year, of course. So it is big opportunity for us. Our goal is to have Photomat on every student's smartphone, the essential app for students all over the world. And our vision actually is to become automated AR educational platform that understands context and serves highly relevant educational content. So it's instant and exactly what you need at this moment. So this we want to stop this happening. We want to have children using smartphones and be happy and get solutions and learn much faster. So this is Photomat, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Damir. Our next speaker is Avi Marcel Castan. Avi's company, SixSkill, is a cyber intelligence platform that detects and diffuses cyber threats before they become cyber attacks. By continuously crawling the dark web social network, SixSkill automatically and covertly monitors and analyzes illegal activity on a massive scale. SixSkill exposes malicious activity at the earliest stages of the cybercrime lifecycle with unprecedented accuracy, often before the damage is done. Avi has a great deal of experience as both an entrepreneur and an investor, and we're glad to have him here to tell us of some of those experiences today.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mauro. Well, he already explained everything we do, so I will add a little bit. First of all, I will say, we'll rephrase a little bit. Yes, we are an Israeli cyber intelligence company. We operate in a field that it's called dark web. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but we'll explain very, very simple and short. There are basically 2 terms. One is called deep web or hidden web, that is the same. That's everything that the normal search engines, like Google, for example, they do not reach, okay? And then there is another term, it's a definition called dark web. The dark web is a subgroup of the deep web that basically, besides all these characteristics, the communication is anonymous and encrypted, okay? So that's basically the definition. Just to get a matter of the size, the hidden web comprehends around 95, 96% of the internet, okay? And it's growing. Now, the dark web, historically, or the more popular systems within the dark web, it started with very good intentions, okay? part of the government, American government, etc. And there is a saying in Hebrew that says that the path to hell is followed by very good intentions, okay? And I don't know if I translated okay, but that's the idea. Today, the dark web is used for very bad things, okay? However, they have also very good things. So, for example, in countries where there is no freedom, people can talk between them. But it's true that a lot of these activities use it for bad things, okay? From serial killers to drugs to anything you may imagine or anything you may not imagine, okay? So what we have done there, we have developed a system that automatically monitor and analyze this dark web activity. So we are able to see these threats, these cyber threats, before they happen. This is one thing. The other thing, we see them as they happen, and we see, of course, we do a forensics, so we can see them backwards. Our system also can provide, we provide our customers with real-time alerts, real-time prioritized alert. The prioritization is very important because if you get a lot of things, a lot of alerts, and you don't get them on time, it worth zero, it worth nothing. So that's basically what we do. Most of our customer comes from two big verticals. One vertical is intelligence agencies, of course, law enforcement, governments. The other vertical are banks, finance, telecom, etc. So these are basically our customers.
Thank you, Avi. Okay, our next speaker is going to be Luca Abrus. Luca's company, Five, is a mobile design and development agency with 90 employees, founded in Croatia with offices in Zagreb, Osijek, and New York. Five's focused on the US market, helping brands like Rhapsody, Squarespace, Rosetta Stone, Choice Hotels, Ministry of Sound, and many others to build their mobile strategy and products. Luca also works on Shout'em, where he's helping to build a next-generation mobile platform with 30 employees and 4,000 customers all over the world. And locally, he's active as a lecturer, mentor, columnist, and author of 3 IT books. Luca will be discussing his experience with scaling the companies he's led and been involved with.
Thank you, Mauro. So as the topic of this panel is how to scale globally, I just wanted to share a couple of slides and just 2 of our most important experiences of scaling globally. Just a brief intro. So Five is a mobile design and development agency, a company with currently 100 employees, with all of our business currently in the States. There we work with the companies, as Mauro explained, but more importantly, our employees travel a lot to the States, and we are, I don't know, nurturing that global culture of a US-based company. We have combined 8 employees in New York, so an office there, so that is part of the culture that we are trying to build, although most of our designers, developers, testers, project managers, and everyone else are in Zagreb and in Osijek. Shout'em is our product. Shout'em is a sister company with currently 40 employees. And that is a mobile app platform that currently has more than 5,000 mobile apps published. And it's a company that we've been building since, I believe, 2009, so it's been almost 7 years now. It's a stable, growing business. We have much bigger plans with that, but the customers for Shout'em are all across the world. So just in a nutshell, so we have 3 offices, but the most important two things that we've learned through all of these years to scale globally was, number 1, to travel a lot. Since our first day, all of our money was spent on traveling, on spending time in the US, on the market where we wanted to be. There was no excuse not to go on a conference, go on a meetup, and we always employed one simple trick. When we got in touch with a client, without knowing how big that client might be, I mean, without knowing the actual potential of that deal, we would always fly in to New York, to Seattle, to San Francisco, even for a day if it was necessary. That helped us build a lot of connections, a lot of network over the years, and currently, as I said, 100% of our clients are US-based. Second of all, building a product company and a services company together results in an interesting blend. When we built the startup, Shout'em, we hoped that we would basically fund the startup with our revenue from the agency, where basically we would, all of our proceeds, all of our profits would go into building that product, which would eventually get us somewhere where we haven't been. But what happened was actually something different. Whenever we came to a pitch, similar to this, when we said, okay, we are a mobile platform, this is our idea, this is who we are, we're building mobile apps using our Shouten platform, we would do the whole pitch. But whenever we needed to set our credentials, we said, okay, we have a services company on the side that builds mobile apps. I think 9 out of 10 people came out afterwards and said, okay, fine about your startup, but tell me about your services company, I need some work done. And we weren't ashamed to say, okay, why not? Let's take this business and fuel our startup. It was a closed loop that we managed to build. Basically, we used the investment that we got for Shouten in 2010 to build global presence, to open up office, to employ first people in New York. But at the same time, while we were investing in the Shouten through our own revenues and profits, the Shouten, or our product, gave a lot back. So, I mean, one of my advices would be that if you're building a startup, of course, it's plain and simple. You can go out there and pitch. But there's a lot of business out there that just left untaken that we decided to take with the services company. And that's how we managed to grow both of our businesses together. And now both of these companies are actually global startups with plans, of course, to keep the development and design centers in Croatia. Short. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to have a few questions with the panel. The first question, I'm actually curious for each of your perspective on this. I guess you first, Luca, what have been the best marketing channels for scaling up the market for your businesses, products, and services?
Recommendations in the first years. So I think for the first 5 or 6 years, our business was built exclusively on recommendations, on keeping every client happy. And there we always put priorities on global clients, because we started with several Croatian or regional clients. But whenever a smaller, privately owned business in the US came along, we jumped on him, and that's actually what brought us a new business. I mean, I could probably draw a tree of recommendations how it took us to any of the big clients that we have right now, because all of these clients that I've mentioned there have been, we got to them through recommendations alone. Now for Shouten, for our product company, we're using a lot of search engine optimizations, partnerships with other companies. We're doing a lot of enterprise deals through Shouten, again through networks and connections. So for Shouten, we're doing a bunch of different techniques, but number one was keeping every client happy and making sure that they will give us a recommendation afterwards, because that was the only thing that mattered. Not the revenue, not the reference in a way, but the recommendation was the number one thing.
How about you, Avi?
Well, but I think as being an Israeli entrepreneur, the market, we are forced to think globally. The internal market is very small. We don't trade too much with our neighbors, so we need to think globally. Now, we at Sixil, we started really with the big. Really with the big. We didn't want even to try with the local market. And I think that when you think big, sometimes you don't get so much as you aim, sometimes yes, but you always need to aim to that. And in that way, this will follow the path. So you need to think there, go there, and then do reverse engineering to how I get to there. That is my how I'm thinking.
David?
So how we actually sell our products. Today we have an advantage of having free distribution to 2 billion customers, which has never existed actually. So through mobile phones, we can reach really 2 billion or even more people. So they can try our apps, demonstration, like they can try it and see demo apps and see if it works for them. If it works, then for Microblink, buy SDK online also. So it is something that it's providing big opportunity to do serious work from small countries where distribution was really limited. So this is how we build this B2B microblink technology for text recognition, and it's growing nicely. We have 450 companies using it in 43 countries. And for Photomat, we build it by we build it as marketing. So we couldn't spend for marketing. So we thought maybe we can build something that is interesting for people to use or to try. So then we can explain what we actually do. And I can tell you it is a great marketing tool for us, for microblink, but it became also another business. I'm now focused on Photomat, and microblink is doing fine, growing organically, and Photomat is really growing nicely. So these are actually two businesses. So we have one B2B business, similar as Five. They have product, and we also have product, and we also have software technology that we are selling, and using one to support other. That's more or less.
Now, Luca, I mean, your business operates, internationally. It seems that you've had a lot of success scaling in the U.S. Why do you think that market, in particular, has been successful?
We were successful because we were solely focused on the US market ever since the day one. I mean, we grew up reading books from the entrepreneurs in the States. We grew up talking about companies in the States. So it was a natural thing for us to go to the States. We loved New York. We loved San Francisco. So I mean, I think it came naturally. The upside was that the mobile app market, that's where everything is happening at the moment. So it was a natural thing. So since day one, we started traveling there. And when we got the first chance, we employed our first US employee and started building there.
Now, Avi, I mean, what do you think it takes for a business to scale up to the point that it no longer needs its founders to run every aspect of the business?
It's a very good question. Of course, in the beginning, you need the founder, you need the passion, you need to love, you need to be ready to go a lot of fights. Someone say that before fight, that this is a fight, and as an entrepreneur, you go from one extreme to the other. I think that gradually you are building a machine, that the machine, someone asked me, what if something happened to you? And I think at this point, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but yeah, we build a machine. The machine is supposed to go alone, even if I'm not here, even the CEO is not here. So, or any other one. It's hard to tell the point, but I think it's better that the spirit of the founder is always in there.
So you can never leave your business alone as a founder, and I think for investors it is not a good idea to move founders away from the business. Operationally, yes, you can provide help, but vision for technology-based business, something that needs to develop very fast, and you need to have vision. I think founders are actually necessary for successful business. Operationally, of course, our scaling, they need help. But I think this vision is very important for successful companies. So founders are very important in some functions to stay with the company in some way.
I mean, David, what do you think a startup business first needs to achieve before it can start scaling up a product or into a market?
Okay, so like product market fit is by definition what it needs to do. But it's not so simple. It's always difficult to understand. It will take some time to understand that your startup can actually sell. So you can have successful product but start selling and realizing that you can really sell. That's the most important thing. And when you can see that, then you can obviously start scaling. Well, it's not. Of course, it's not easy and it's not simple. And we have challenges like with microblink. It's now I think we can start scaling, but our technology is not still ready for big scale, so we are limited on technology still. For some use cases, great, but not for everything that can really scale. And for Photomat, there are other challenges. While it is again, simple product, we can see limitations and we need to work on it. So it will take some time to really, again, scale as much as we think it can. So it depends, product market fit by definition, but selling something that's a point where you can start scaling, of course.
Mm-hmm. Now, Luca, do you think a company can start scaling too quickly in certain cases?
Sure. I mean, if you have enough revenue or investment, you can scale too quickly and in the wrong way. But in our environment, due to the size of investments and the things that the revenue that is coming or the money that is flowing here, I haven't seen that. I mean, I've seen some of the companies in the U.S. do that. Some of our competitors in the U.S. do that. That's how we hired a couple of our employees in the States when they fled their previous companies due to unplanned growth and scaling up too quickly. I wish that would happen somewhere here in Croatia, where someone would grow into like $1 billion revenue or $1 billion company, and they would, because it would end up with many interesting things with the whole ecosystem. But haven't seen that in Croatia or in the region yet.
Now, Avi, I mean, what have you seen to be the biggest mistakes or traps for a company that's trying to scale up?
First of all, you need to plan. Okay, you need to plan. And regarding scaling, you need to take into account that as you scale and as you grow, your market is changing. You're playing two different things. First of all, the first customer you're selling, if supposedly you're inventing something new, something that it was not before, they are the early adopters. Now, they have a certain psychology that you need to understand. Sometimes it's not related to the size of the organization. And as you move up and as you scale, you start seeing another type of psychology, of another type of customers, and you need to plan it well. You will need to move from here to here. And as you are doing that, all the markets is changing because the market is not waiting. So you need to take all this into account, and you need to plan before you go. Not because you will follow the plan. Of course, you will change the plan, but the plan is so important. It puts you in a certain mental way that you need to analyze a lot of things. You need to change them all after that.
I mean, Damir, I'm curious your perspective on that too. Any common traps or mistakes?
So I think that you need to bring people that understand how to scale. So first, I know 1,000 customers are one set of skills, and next 10,000 users or buyers or customers are another set of skills. So I think CEOs and founders need to understand that and recognize that. And of course, investors can help. And this is where I can see that investors can really help, because they are really experienced and they will better understand when you need to bring someone who understands how to scale. So I think this is what founders need to look to get from investors, advice similar to that.
It's not just financial resources,
no,
but
absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's much more. It's support and advice and understanding, because investors, they have seen similar situations and problems, and they know how to address them. So for my first company, ISKON, this was very important. We got investors that could really help us. We were really very technical, and investors understood sales and marketing. So this is where they really helped. And now we also have investors, and they somebody who can not just give us money, but can really understand what we are doing and really help.
All right, thank you, Damir, and thank you again to all of our panelists for sharing their invaluable thoughts and experiences with us. This concludes our panel. On behalf of myself and the panel, thank you all for being here with us today. And thank you again for the conference organizers for putting together an incredible event. Looking forward to the rest of the afternoon and the other great panels. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.